What's up, AFC North Talk? So the Browns game just finished. I'm going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about what happened in the rest of the AFC North as well, to do a little recap before today's AFC North Talk. Pittsburgh versus Cincinnati. Let's talk about that game real quick because that was a fascinating one. Either Cincinnati doesn't have a defense or we really ought to take the Pittsburgh Steelers a lot more serious, right? Now, it's going to be a point that I bring up in the game that the Browns played against the Broncos, right? The Browns had a ton of offensive success, but that required them to throw the ball 58 times. I think the difference between the Browns offense right now and the Steelers offense, and why the Steelers are 9-3 and the Browns record is what it is, outside of obviously Deshaun Watson pretty much torpedoing the Browns season from the start of the year. I think the big difference between Pittsburgh and Cleveland offensively is that they don't have to throw Russell Wilson more than 40 times because they have a run game that they can rely on. I think that showed in this one, right, versus the Bengals. Russell Wilson, 29 of 38, 414 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. He played a pretty clean game here, right? But when you look at the run game, Najee 16 carries, 75 yards, 4.7 per. That's a really good average. If you look at their team total, 26 carries, 110, 4.2 per. So they're able to kind of just get clean runs at a good clip pretty consistently, and they're able to run it a healthy amount of time, that even in a game where they score a ton, they don't have to throw a ton, because I think if you did throw and get past that 40 limit with Russ, you start to see some of the limitations there, but they're able to hide that well. Now, there might be a question of like, hey, what happened to this Steelers defense that the Bengals were able to score 38? I think if that is your opinion, you might not have watched the game, because Joe Burrow was cooking, like cooking with a capital C in this game. Joe Burrow was 28 of 38. The stats don't do it justice. 303 touchdowns, 1 interception. He was cooking in this one. Did a really good job. Just to show you how much Joe Burrow cooked in this one, look at how many receivers got over 20 yards for the Bengals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. The Bengals scored 38 points because Joe Burrow was on a tear. Like, I don't think that's really an indictment on the Pittsburgh Steelers. He was dodging TJ Watt and Alex Highsmith, Nick Herbig all game. He was doing a lot to make it happen for Cincinnati. Cincinnati's defense, it's just a problem here, right? They lost DJ Reader. They have no anchor in the interior, so they can't stop the run. And then all of their corners that they drafted just did not work out. They don't have safeties over top that are worth anything. They're just a bad defense. And Lou Anarumu's system does not require a ton of star players, but it does require a lot of good, solid veteran players. And right now they got a lot of young guys in there, and the veterans that they do have are cooked. And that is why the Bengals look like they do. The question is, how long would the Bengals look like this? Will this just be a 1-year, off-year type thing? Or is this just what the Bengals are going to be going forward under the reality of what Joe Burrow's contract is going to do to their salary cap? We'll see what the future is, but what I do know for the Bengals' immediate future, you right here with us, homeboy. You right here watching these games with us during the playoffs, because you not making them. Come on and join the Browns on the couch, brother. You not in them playoffs either. All right, let's talk about the Ravens getting their butts kicked. By the way, shout out to the chatter who got a booty beatdown correct. Like, that's rare. But the Ravens got beat down in this one. Oh man, it got bad at the end, dog. Derrick Henry got smacked up by Cooper DeJean. It was bad. It was really bad for the Ravens. What was the end score of this one? Because I don't think the score was that bad, if I remember correctly. I just remember it felt like an ass whipping for sure when I watched it. Let's see. Where's that score at? Texans, Rams, Eagles. Yeah, it was 24-19. So it was not an ass whipping on the box score, but it felt like one. It felt like it, at one point, I think this was like 24-12. Yeah, it felt like an ass whooping. Jalen Hurts only had to throw the ball 19 times in this game. I mean, the run game was just killing them in this one. 4.2 on 33 carries. Saquon Barkley, 23 carries, 107 yards. really just a workhorse here. The thing is that the Ravens were more successful technically on the ground, right? 32 carries, 166, 5.2 per, but it just didn't matter. The Eagles were just more physical. They were able to get the third and shorts whenever they wanted to, the fourth and shorts whenever they wanted to. They dominated this game on the line of scrimmage, and the Ravens really didn't have much of an answer for it. Yeah, this is a concerning loss for the Ravens if I'm Baltimore. Not only because it puts you 2 games back behind Pittsburgh, but also like you're not supposed to lose a game like this, right? Like a big physical in the trenches game. That's supposed to be Baltimore's specialty. And for them to lose a game like that, it definitely is a concern for Baltimore going forward. That being said, they're still going to be in the playoffs. I thought going into this game, hey, Baltimore looks like this might be the year where they finally like get over the hump. After this game, I have severe setbacks about thinking of them that this is the year that they go over the hump. I don't know if they have enough to do it because they really do rely on winning in the trenches a lot to win football games, but they're clearly not one of the best trenches teams in the NFL. They're just a really good one. And I think that's going to hurt them going forward. Then the Browns on Monday Night Football played in a spectacular game versus the Denver Broncos. This was a fun one. Jameis almost had 500 yards. Jerry Jeudy had 235 in a revenge game. I kind of brought this up versus the Pittsburgh game, but I think the story of this one is that the Browns had to throw the ball 58 times, right? That was why they lost. And it's not like I'm saying, oh, Ken Dorsey called too many passes. I think he had to call all them passes. The Browns' run game is not there, right? They don't have a great run game, and that leads to issues, right? The Browns used to be able to win games last year because they still had somewhat of a run game, but even then when they were relying on Joe Flacco, a lot of that was just like relying on Flacco magic, right? The Browns can't win games at a consistent rate if they're not running the ball well. That's their big problem. I think that was the difference in this game. The Denver Broncos were able to more consistently run the ball than the Cleveland Browns. So Bo Nix only had to throw the ball 35 times. Also, Bo Nix got awarded 14 points from Jameis Winston. Now, why did Jameis Winston throw 2 pick sixes? Because he's inaccurate at times, right? We know this about Jameis Winston. I say this all the time about him. People get it wrong that they think he makes insane decisions. People think he makes insane decisions. Jameis doesn't make insane decisions. He just doesn't have the most accurate arm of all time. So sometimes he makes these hard, tight window throws that he tries to make, and sometimes he doesn't. And this was a game where he clearly did a little bit of both, right? 497, 4 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. One of them was a pick six. Was 2 of them a pick six? 2 of them were a pick six, and one was almost a pick six at the end there. So that's just kind of what happens there, right? Bo Nix turned this ball over 2 times too, and I think the Browns only got points off of one of those turnovers. Obviously, the Broncos got 14 points off turnovers. I think the Browns got 3. That's the difference in the game right there, right? The pick sixes. Why did the pick sixes happen? Well, because the Browns have to throw the ball to move it. And when you have to throw the ball to move it, you're going to put yourself in that position to throw interceptions. So if you're the Browns, you got to develop a run game. What Stefanski wants to do, it works, but it does not win games at the clip that you want it to if you cannot run the ball. You just got to be able to run the ball. But that's really it there. That's my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. You have a great day. Have a good night.